Okay, guys, welcome to the channel. Today is the first real video that I'm going to be posting. For about the past 6 months or so, I've been posting shorts, and it's been in an attempt to gain a few subscribers so that when I post any videos, somebody gets them and they don't just go into the internet no man's land where they get 1 or 2 views. So I've built my subscriber base to 50. It's not something I've done with any real commitment. You know, I'll do like they've all been minute shorts, and they're basically like just gun videos where I just like will show off a gun, flex one of my builds or whatever. But today is the day that I start making videos, and I was going to, write up an outline or a script and try to follow up, but I don't think that's the way to do it. I don't like to read from something or come across as being inauthentic or fake. We get enough of that stuff in our regular lives watching YouTube. But today I want to make 4 videos, independent, separate videos. Try to keep them to about 10 minutes apiece. The first video, what I want to do is I want to describe what my intention, my goals are for the channel. Obviously, I like guns. I like shooting guns. I have liked shooting guns for almost 50 years. I think one of the first times I can remember doing anything with anybody was my dad would squat behind me and out in the Sonoran deserts of Arizona and New Mexico, and he would be behind me and I would be holding my gun. I think it was a bunch of guns, but 22 Ruger, I forgot what it's called. It's a Mark something. But that was one of my guns that I clearly remember growing up as a kid shooting a lot. So I've been shooting guns my entire life. I'm not a marksman or a gun expert, but I know how to shoot. I don't have any law enforcement experience or military, so I'm not coming across as being somebody that I'm not. I'm not, this isn't stolen valor. I'm not trying to be anybody other than a civilian who likes shooting guns and has the humility enough to say that I don't know shit, really. I like shooting guns. I also like talking about politics. I like talking about the culture. And you're gonna get a lot of that. But what I want to do with this channel essentially is I want this channel to be an interactive user experience with the users, where one of the plans that I have for this video is like doing a weekly mud gunner type viewer builds, where you email me in pictures of your favorite SBR or Gucci build, or your piece of shit pistol build with your Fiochi closed emitter red dot, duct tape to the top of your Glock. And I'd like to do something like that where the viewers feel like, they're interacting with me. And since the first 50 people, I have 50 subscribers, 52. And for everybody that subscribed, I really appreciate that. And I really want to keep, I'd like to get to know all your guys' names personally, because at some point I hope to have a lot of subscribers. And there are some YouTubers that I subscribed when they were under 2,000, under 1,000, in the hundreds, and they're like 400K, and I feel like I've been there from the beginning. and you almost feel like you know the person. So my intention is that I would like to get to know you guys. Another thing I'd like to do is when I have extra parts or things that I've used or I've replaced on different guns, rifles, pistols, I don't ever sell my used stuff. And what I'd like to do is have like contests where I just give stuff away. Nothing expensive. Well, I mean, I guess it could be, but I would say, Scalar Works, leave optics mounts as being, like $100 mounts and stuff like that. I've got a $50 100 Concepts flash kill for a EXPS holographic sight for this gun. I actually did one previous video where I talked about a bunch of stuff, but I immediately took it down because I had made the video prior to remaking it, but I hadn't switched it to video. It was on photo, so I made it again. My heart wasn't in it. I couldn't remember what I had already covered. And it was a horrible video. I couldn't remember shit about anything. But I did do a breakdown of this gun. I'm not going to do it today, but it's a Sig Spear LT. It's the Custom Works multi-cam Cerakote edition, 11.5 inch barrel, EXPS 3 circle dot reticle, G43 on the Unity 2.26 over bore mounts. Sig's minimalistic folding stock, also Cerakote multicam, and then SC Irregulars, everything. They're or his Special K pistol grip, his rail covers, the short, the long, the thin, the skinny, the thick ones, hand stop or barricade stop hand stop. I'm an HRF fan. They make a really cool hard shell protective case for your different EOTech magnifiers. So I really like this thing. Like I said, I replaced the kill flash with a flat dark earth one, just because this build is it's my baby, and I wanted to do everything exactly right on this thing. So Parker Mountain Machine, PMag 3 extended +5, aluminum machined mag extensions, the MCX Magwell. This thing is beautiful. It fits perfect. I love their flat dark earth finish. Let's see. Bolt catch draw paddle. The arm for the to drop the bolt. Let's see. SC Irregulars 45 degree mount for the basic. Let's see. It's the Surefire pressure pad, remote pressure pad. It's the smallest one. It's not like these big, the big fatties that attach to a pick rail. So that's another thing I might give away. I might give these away. I haven't been a big fan of these big fatties. This thing's about $150. I wouldn't be opposed to giving this thing away. Okay. So I guess I did just do a quick review on this thing. Surefire, SOCOM SB2, not the X or SC2, but the SB2. It's the short barrel. It's essentially the same suppressor, same size, same weight, same length, same width, with just a slightly bigger diameter bore. So that's that. But yeah, I would definitely be willing to ship this off to somebody who's looking for a kill flash for their holographic EOTech. Okay, so one thing I will do and kill two videos with one is do a quick I guess demonstration of how the Surefire bore alignment rod. It's a Geisley 4 Surefire machined, beautiful rod. It's all the edges, there's no sharp edges. So how this thing works, pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. Stick this thing in very softly. You don't want to, I guess it wouldn't matter, but definitely don't want to screw up the rifling in your barrel. But you stick it in like that, and what it will do is it will tell you this is the bullet's path. And as you can see, this is what you want to do every time you, for me personally, is every time I take my suppressor off my gun. So, because you never know if you have something within how the interface between the, for me, I have a 3-prong SOCOM Surefire flash hider, but how those interface between the barrel and the your muzzle device host and the suppressor. I have a burn-proof gear, right? BPG, I think it is. I can never remember that. Burn-proof gear, yeah. Suppressor cover. Rated to 3,000 degrees, so it's got like a fiberglass Kevlar something shroud that goes. Actually, I have a piece of it right here. It's got sort of like a metallic. I don't know if you guys can see that, but whatever. And that you cut to size, place it over, and then you strap this thing down. Obviously, you want to bunch it up around the barrel so that it doesn't shoot off the end. Anyway, so this is Radian Raptor charging handle, MCX charging handle. That's about it. So there she is, the Custom Works SIG MCX Spear Light, 11.5 inch, and I'm stoked on it. It was actually a clone, incorrect version of the Slade AR, which is officially a Novisky 10.5 chainsaw, but I really like the internally contained upper recoil assembly, or whatever it's called. Okay, with the channel, so I want to do viewer builds. I want it to be interactive, where you guys email me your builds every week and I'll post them. And I want to do giveaways. Obviously, I want to do range day. I've got a really nice video plan for January. I'm going to be going shooting with a buddy of mine, one of the founding members of the Funk Junkies. His name's Kurt Resnick. K-Toll Disco is his name. I don't know if you guys know who the Funk Junkies are, but they're in Arizona, early 90s, mid 90s, late 90s, I guess 90s, rap rock, I guess it'd be called progressive rock or whatever. But they did music for Tommy Boy, did videos with Chris Farley and David Spade, so they're pretty cool. They were one of my favorite bands. I loved their live shows, were just full energy. And they were a part of I consider it my childhood growing up. It was late 80s high school, into the 90s down in Tucson. They would come down and play a bunch of frat houses, the Fiji House, the SIGAP House, the SAE House, and I would go to their shows with all my homies, and just good times, good memories. So we're going to be going shooting. He's got a buddy, he's got his FFL, so we're going to have a bunch of full auto, fun guns. From what I've seen, I think he's got a 50 cal, what's it called? No, it doesn't matter. A sniper rifle. It's the big fatty. It's the $10,000 rifle that if without any of the, within any optics or any accessories. Okay, so I want to obviously do, range days, shooting NFA items, SBRs, suppressors, going out with my buddies and, having fun and making you guys a part of it for what it's worth. The other thing, too, is talking about culture. Obviously, we just had an election. I'm extremely happy at the results. I'm even more happy with his cabinet appointees. Kash Patel was a absolute win. And from what I've seen, he's got no opposition so far. I mean, obviously, you're going to have all the same idiots from Morning Joe and The View. They're going to be telling you all kinds of crazy stuff about him. He's a Trump loyalist and blah, blah, blah. But apparently the guy has no skeletons in his closet. The dude's legit. And he's completely confirmable. And the best part about that is that I think, is it Mike Davis? I guess Elon Musk has not threatened, but he's left an ultimatum up to any rhino Republicans who are, plan on being obstructionists in this new confirmation process with Trump cabinet picks, that anybody who, tries to step in the way and create problems for the MAGA movement are going to be primaried, and they're going to lose their jobs in the next election. So that should get everybody on board to, do what the people have mandated in the election and confirm his picks. What else? So we're going to be talking politics. There's one other thing too. With the, I'm sure everybody's heard that Biden's pardoned his son Hunter, which was completely expected. Of course, he denied it. Karine Jean-Pierre, she denied it. They promised it wasn't going to happen. They were lying to the American people because they wanted your vote. This is when he still thought he was running for president. So they were going to lie to you and tell you that he would never pardon his son, which he did yesterday. And it's fully expected. I mean, if I would do the same thing. It's like one of the very few things you can do on the way out, to throw a middle finger up to the party that ran you out and to just everybody. But part of that is that I think it's a really good thing, simply because it's going to allow Trump to pardon all the J6 participants. The Proud Boys dude who wasn't even in D.C. that day, who got sentenced to like 22 years. He was like the leader of the Proud Boys. The white supremacist Nazi Puerto Rican dude. So he's going to get pardoned. All these dudes are going to get pardoned, and that's cool. And there's nothing they can say about it, because, his son, the cocaine addict, junkie, tax cheat, human sex trafficking son, was completely, for as much as we hear about Democrats wanting to tell us that we need to be held accountable, and that, we're the threat to democracy, and that everybody needs to be treated, our assertion for the past, 8 years has been that Democrats play by two different sets of rules, and for themselves they do whatever they want, and they never are held accountable, and they blatantly lie, cheat, steal. Their corruption's just bold in your face. They change rules. Nancy Pelosi with the J6 committee, and not allowing like Jim Jordan to serve, and not allowing any Republicans other than the ones that were like completely political ideologues that support the uniparty, the corrupt Washington, D.C. just scumbags, Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger and all those fools. So the good thing is that Trump's going to be able to do blanket pardons for hundreds of people, and there's not going to be able to say anything about it, because Biden pardoned his son. And, so it's like, imagine the hypocrisy. And they'll do it. We all know they're going to claim that Trump is, he's giving his supporters, his white supremacist, fascist supporters, letting him off the hook, but Trump will be able to do this without any any allegations coming back towards Trump are going to be like meaningless after Biden pardoned his son. But more so than that, President Trump on his inauguration day is going to be able to pardon everybody that's a political prisoner without question. I mean, he can pardon anybody who's been targeted for their pro-life, for their pro-child views, any parents that were arrested and charged for, at PTA meetings, who protested, cartoon books of pornography, homosexual pornography. That's, Democrats like to draw a comparison and conflate, these nasty books that are all about the sexual indoctrination of children into the LGBT, political activist cult. Not the LGBT community, but the people that use that movement in a political way that's just disgusting, in order to the ones who want to rename pedophiles as MAPs, minor attracted persons, because they want to normalize pedophilia. And so this is coming, and what I'd like to suggest is that everybody who can call your senator, or your elected congressman from your state, congress people, and ask about a man named Matthew Hoover, who has a YouTube channel called CRS Firearms. A lot of you in the 2A community know who this is, but this is a guy who advertised something that was called an auto key card, which was essentially a credit card sized piece of stamped, steel. It's like a credit card with printing on it that supposedly, if you cut it out and sanded it down and put these two pieces together, you could make an auto-sear and turn a semi-automatic AR-15 into a fully automatic. The DOJ, with an unlimited budget to use the best machinists and the best armorers and gunsmiths to make this thing work, couldn't get it to work, function properly, without getting like just a bunch of, I don't even know if it misfired, but they couldn't get it to work. So it's essentially, it was a novelty item. Anyway, Matthew Hoover was arrested, tried, and sentenced to, I think, 5 years in prison, federal prison. He's got a wife, he's got several kids. His YouTube channel was his primary source of income. I think he had he had his FFL. That's the other thing too. This dude had an FFL and could manufacture machine guns, suppressors, silencers legally. And the Biden DOJ, under Merrick Garland, the Biden ATF under Stephen Dettelbach, they went after this dude with the full force and weight of the U.S. government, and they buried this dude. And is what is just the most insane court case I've ever heard. I mean, growing up, I remember a book called The Anarchist Cookbook, and in this book, it taught you how to make napalm, homemade napalm. It taught you how to string piano wire across a roadway using 2 offset trees so that somebody on a motorcycle coming by would, decapitate themselves. It taught you how to make silencers. All these different things. I never remember the author. I never remember Barnes & Noble. I never remember any of their advertising agencies that promoted this book, any of them, being investigated, indicted, tried, convicted, imprisoned. None of them. So essentially, it's a First Amendment right that Matthew Hoover had to advertise a novelty item, basically something you could stick on your coffee table as a conversation piece. It was, and the other thing too is about when you talk about the potential of something to be made into something, when you talk about like 85% or 80%, lowers for pistols, and all the different things, solvent traps, convicting somebody on the potential of something they could do is so unconstitutional. It's like the there was a movie a long time ago about like pre-crime, where they would convict you of crimes that you were going to do into the future, because I guess they could go into the future using some teleporting like time machine or whatever. And so that's essentially why he's in prison right now, separated from his family. So my point is that Donald Trump will pardon this dude. And he'll pardon anybody who's a political prisoner, anybody who's been targeted because of their conservative 2A beliefs, pro-life beliefs, anti, child gender fluidity nonsense. Anybody who's currently in prison for standing up for themselves, for speaking out, for having a different opinion than the Washington D.C. liberal narrative that has been completely pounded into us for it seems like the last decade. They'll all be pardoned. The only problem is they have to be front and center in Trump's mind on that day that he pardons the J6 dudes. And so what I would really like to see is that enough people call their Congress men and women and ask about Matthew Hoover, and to ask them if they've talked to President Trump about pardoning Matthew Hoover, and leave messages, do whatever you got to do, because I'd like to see this guy get out, and he shouldn't be there. He didn't do anything wrong. He never was a danger to society. I mean, the guy's like 5 foot tall and weighs 100 pounds, and a total family man. Anyway, so that's the other thing. I guess this is going to be one long video. So that's where we're at. What this channel is going to be. It's going to be a lot of things. It's going to be like me pulling from all of my favorite YouTube creators that deal with firearms and unboxings and range day, mag dumping, and ballistics testing. Once we get enough viewers, it would be cool to do lives and where we talk about these sort of things that are in the news, different court cases on the federal level, state level. I think we're in for an absolute treat in the next year. I mean, it's going to be absolutely insane. Not from what Pam Bondi and Kash Patel are going to do as far as dropping the Epstein lists, to going after Jack Smith and his illegal prosecution of Trump, going after Biden for his involvement with selling influence to the U.S. government through his son, all those banking warnings of suspicious banking transactions that were 150 something of them from our American banking institutions that have these these warnings that go out when they suspect international crime syndicates are laundering money for human sex trafficking and drugs and arms dealing, illegal arms dealing. So there's gonna be that. There's gonna be Kash Patel completely dismantling the ATF, the FBI. And the best thing about it too is we have Kash Patel the past 6-7 years with him giving interviews on the things that he would do if he were the FBI director, if he were the Attorney General, if he were, all these different things out. And he's always been like the sunlight is the best disinfectant kind of guy. He's not about protecting people. He's all about accountability and holding people to account for the crimes they commit. And I'm stoked on that. And then we have Tom Homan, dude. This is going to get wild. I mean, it's, from what I've seen, I like watch a lot of YouTube. I watch a lot of dudes who are in special forces talking about Trump designating the Mexican drug human trafficking cartels as international terrorist organizations, and being able to use small killer capture, Delta Force, and Green Berets to go in and get these dudes. I was just watching a video. It's Valhalla. I forgot what it's called. Let's see here. And this dude says that he thinks that the Mexican drug cartels are currently getting ready, and they're going to be getting ready as a preemptive setting up preemptive defensive positions, IEDs, and basically the same shit that we saw in Afghanistan, car bombs, suicide bombs. So let's see, Valhalla. Oh, I forgot. Anyway, I can't. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's called Valhalla VFT. And this dude, if you guys haven't seen that video, it's I would definitely check it out. It's called the video is called U.S. Military Special Forces to be unleashed to combat Mexican drug cartels. And it is no joke. It's 25 minutes of absolute, from somebody who's a former Delta Force operator who is saying that it's going to be absolute warfare. And I'm just here for it, dude. It's going to be so dope. And basically, not because I have any bloodlust, but because I'm sick and tired of Americans dying of fentanyl overdoses, and American and foreign kids being trafficked into to sex rings. I mean, it's so disgusting, dude, that our country has allowed this to happen. I mean, it's not surprising for a country that treats abortion like it's like a human right, like it's the most beautiful thing. They talk about like abortion like it's something to be proud of. 15 years ago, Obama, they used to talk about abortion like as a legitimate last resort, and like something that they really regretted, and now like they're so proud of it. They're just like, Trump's gonna make abortion illegal on the federal level. He's gonna do a nationwide ban. It's like they're saying it as if that would be a bad thing. I mean, I obviously don't support that, because there's always a need, for everything. And I don't think that you should make anything black and white. But using abortion as like a morning after pill, or because somebody doesn't want to raise a child and they want to party for the rest of their lives, and they're greedy and they don't want to pay child support or whatever. I had a daughter with somebody out of wedlock when I was 27, and it's the best thing. During that time of my life, I was paying a lot of money, $800 a month, which for me was a lot. And this is also, you have to remember, this is the 90s. But that, paying child support was something that like I gladly did. And never once felt like I was a victim because I couldn't buy the new sports car or, you know, have the cool shit that my single homies had. You know, I was grateful to be able to do that. And I was very lucky that I had a daughter who was extremely smart and had a mom that, you know, gave her the best, you know, the best support so that, you know, she would wind up going on to play, you know, basketball for several Ivy League schools. She had a full academic scholarship to Cornell. So she's a smart girl. And I was very happy that I didn't have to pay for that education. However, I would have if I had to. So she was a McDonald's All-American basketball player, one of the best in the country. I'm not going to give you her name or tell you any more than that, but she was a baller. Scoring 40 points, double-doubles. She killed it. But enough about that. So that's what this channel is going to be. It's like I like to talk about things that are important to me. You might find them not important. You're more than welcome to comment and make suggestions about topics you want me to cover in the next video. You know, I'm not like a huge gun collector, but I have a small collection of guns that I did my research on and bought my very favorite guns. Staccato, P, X Series, DLC, blacked out bullnose barrel, aim point, acro P2, shit like that. Zev Technologies, OZ9 compact frame. This is the aluminum, machined aluminum Zev grip that they do pre-orders every couple years. They'll do pre-orders for a month right around Christmas time, and you better order them at that time or you'll miss out. This has got the XVL2 Surefire laser. Way too expensive for what you get, but again, I try to build like completely Gucci'd out stuff. I don't have any garbage. That's my full size OZ9. If you know anything about the OZ9 platform, it's a modular setup, and so when you buy it, you wind up buying different grips. So you buy compact grips, you buy compact polymer grips, and the steel frame there's a takedown pin, comes out, you stick it in, trigger falls through. And then you have a full size, you know, a Glock 17, or this is the, it's called the X grip. But you get enough of this shit put together with different modular pieces, and at some point you've got enough to just build a whole separate gun. For me, it took me about 6 months, and then I realized, like, I should just buy another frame. Right around Christmas time, the frames dropped down from $550 to $300, and so, you know, $300 is the only thing that's separating you from owning a gun that, you know, MSRP's for $1750. And so this is a Glock 19 size 4-inch barrel. It's a subcompact. This has got the laser. This is the XCR or XC2. It's not quite the laser like the other one, but this is a white light laser. Whatever. There's light in here somewhere. Fuck. Glad I don't need it. Oh well. I'll have to remember how that works. I've got I don't know if you can see it, but it's a H&K Heckler & Koch MP5, the civilian version, imported from Germany. It's called the SP5. It's a 9mm. Well, you guys know. It's the diehard gun. I have the Midwest Industries 10.3-inch extended handguard for suppressors, so that you can run your suppressor partially enclosed, which helps for, you know, not burning your hands off or burning your gloves off. And it's got a Surefire Rider 9 7.9-inch suppressor, modular, 2-inch extension on it, so you can run it with 3 baffles at 5.9-inch, and the baffle stack start big and then slowly get smaller toward the end. So the last 3 baffles, believe it or not, fit within a 2-inch modular extension. So you can run it as a 5.9-inch short suppressor, which actually, if you're running 147 grain subsonics, is very quiet. But with the additional 3 baffles, running it as a 6 baffle 7.9-inch suppressor, it sounds like an air gun. So those are some of the guns that I have that we'll take out to the range and we'll shoot. I've got a MCX Rattler, suppressed with a SC2, Surefire SOCOM suppressor. I've got the B&T personal defense weapon suppressor with the old Surefire. This is a nice little truck gun. Silent. Folds up. Let's see. It's a Glock 17, a Gen 5 Glock 17 with the B&T. I think it's called the GSW 17 conversion chassis. And this thing is just beautiful if you're a little backpack gun. A3 tactical. Hand stop, vertical foregrip. What else? So I've got some toys that are going to be fun to share with you guys. A Custom Works SIG XL P365 Spectra Comp. I'm sure you guys have seen that. It's got the compensator that's milled into the slide. It's an incredibly flat shooting 9mm subcompact. And then I've got a Sig Sauer P226, or yeah, 226, 220, yeah, Pro Cut. It's a double action. It's got the decocker on it. It's got the G10 reptile grips, or they're like, it's like a fiberglass that's machined so that you have like stippling. They're just super cool grips. I could show it to you, but I don't feel like getting up. And so anyway, so that's it. That's where we're gonna go with this channel. Again, it's just starting. I'm at 52 subscribers. I figured it was time to make a video and introduce myself, let you know what's going on, let you know that I'm going to put a lot of effort into making this channel something that's entertaining to watch. That's not going to be, it's not going to be a channel where it's like, you see all the channels that are like, this gun sucks, and that's the title of it, like, the staccato P sucks. Man, I love Trench Grenade, but dude, like that kind of stuff, where it's like, everything's all controversial and just hate. But the dude knows his shit, and I like the dude. The dude's funny as fuck. But that's not where I'm gonna take this channel. This channel's gonna be about like people feeling comfortable to come here and I guess you can troll if you want, but it's probably not gonna go anywhere. And that's about it. It's gonna be a conglomeration of all of my favorite channels, from Grand Thumb to Administrative Results to T-Rex Arms to fun, just having fun, to 4 Box of Diner, to all of it. Because I went to I had an interest in law at one time. That's all I'm going to say about that. But I've worked on congressional campaigns, so I have a past history of working in politics. I worked for the Arizona Diamondbacks. I did construction for many years as a superintendent. I've been a grow master. My most recent job was working for a company that was a commercial indoor marijuana grow, and I was the grow master for that, completely taught by a buddy of mine who came from Colorado, and put me in charge of a warehouse with 90 plants, and we were, harvesting anywhere from 8 to, I'm not a weed smoker. I was in my youth, but I stopped smoking weed back in the year right around 2000, and never, haven't been a weed smoker since. And I just don't find any of it. I just don't like it. But I grew it for a long time and became very good at understanding genetics and growing plants from either clones or popping seeds, and getting, growing 10 different seeds of the same strain, and then picking the ones out after harvesting them that had the best percentages of THC and CBD, and but I've done every aspect of from the pruning to the harvesting to the cloning leaves and dipping them in a gel that you put in a little water spinner that blasts water on the root for weeks until they start to grow roots. And then you take that little clone and you plant that into something called, I think it's called Grodin. It's like a spun cement that is really good at, it's like a sponge, but it's made of cement. It's really good at absorbing nutrients and water and holding it. And then growing that little leaf into a 3-4 foot high plant. And I was really good at getting the most weight out of my plants, anywhere from 3/4 of a pound to a pound and a quarter per plant, and harvesting anywhere from 8 to 12 pounds a week, every week. Always a new row. And if you guys are interested in how that entire process works, how we did it, it was all legal, obviously. In Arizona at the time, before it was legal for recreational use, we had it for medicinal, where you needed a prescription. And if you were a licensed caregiver, you could grow and provide the product, the medicine is what they call it, for up to 6 patients. And so basically we would go find these patients and take their growing rights, and you would grow 6 plants for them at any given time, and every month you would just give them, an ounce or 2 ounces, whatever they needed for whatever they were dealing with. We would give them everything from butter, shatter, oils, edibles, flour. We would just give them everything, and then we would take the rest and we would donate it to the dispensaries. And because we couldn't sell it technically, but we could be hired on as consultants. And so we would take, if we harvested, let's say 8 pounds, we were selling those pounds wholesale for $3,000 a pound. And so that was anywhere from $27,000 a week to 12 times, 27,000 to 40,000 a week. There was a lot of money in it. And we would go to the dispensaries. They would have their orders put in for, whatever, if it was indica or whatever they needed. And everything was obviously tested, and percentages of CBD and THC and all the different, the famous clones from around the world, from indoor grows in Europe. We were getting clones sent over by private jet, and we were paying nice for them. But then you have that plant forever, and you're just constantly, you have a female that's just constantly around the clock, 24-hour-a-day sun, so it never starts to flower. And we would just take our clones off that, and we would have unlimited clones forever. And we would have our favorite plants. So we had an entire room of our favorite plants. And we would just take orders and then go get clones, or every once in a while we'd order seeds and take those seeds and pop them, all 10 of them, grow them up to full maturity, harvest them, and then have each bud tested, the smell, how it, I forgot what that was called. There's technical words for everything, but the smell, all the different percentages. Anyway, so I did that for almost 6 years, And then when it became legal for recreational use, the competition became too much, and my buddy sold his business for lots of money, several million, and I made out well myself. So that's what most of these guns were about. You know, I was very fortunate in the past 10 years to make a lot of money. So anyway, so that's who I am. That's the channel that this is. And that's the direction I want to go. If you guys have any suggestions, stick it in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe. And if you have any ideas as far as, I'm thinking about some sort of giveaway at 100,000 subscribers, if it ever gets that far, but it will only be for my first, for you guys. So, I've went into the analytics on this channel. I haven't found a way to find out who my subscribers are, like the names and stuff, but I want to find out who you are, so that you guys will always be like in my group of people that were there in the beginning for me, and so that when I have stuff that I'm not using or I want to give away, and you have a gun that needs this or that, I have like I said, I have an MP5, and I've got 4 different handguards. So I've got a B&T ultra lightweight tri-rail handguard. I've got the original polymer, just the flat sort of cone shaped. I've got another one by PTT or PCC. I forgot what it's called. Worth about $150. I'm going to wind up giving all this stuff away. I'm not going to buy another MP5. And I'm certainly not going to take off the extended handrail now that it's on. So I've got a bunch of vertical foregrips. I've got just a bunch of stuff. I've got a bunch of Scalar Works mounts for Trijicon MRO HDs and Aimpoint Comp M5s. Yeah, so that's about it. Like I said, you've already liked, or you haven't liked, but you've subscribed, so I appreciate that. I want to thank you again for that. And that's the channel. That's the direction I want to go. I think next week will be the first viewer build. If, I don't know who's a subscriber. I'm assuming that it's fellow gun owners, so I'm assuming that it's people that have their own builds. So we'll do something like that. I'll give you I'll set up an email specifically for my viewer builds, and you can just email me pictures and I'll put them up. Because like I said, I want to make this channel an interactive two-way experience where, you don't need to set up your YouTube channel to feel like you can get your, post your stuff and have it featured on a channel. And again, at some point it'd be cool to do like live videos where, you can join me and we can have discussions on whatever. At some point, dude, this Mexican drug cartel war with the American military is going to kick off, and at that point, it's going to be fun to talk about what the day's recent events, because I can only imagine killer capture raids in Nogales, which is 3 hours south of where I'm at right now. So that's where we're at. That's where we're going. That's who I am. That's what this channel is about. And that's it. This has been an hour-long video. I had no intention of making this an hour-long video. I planned on making several 10-minute videos, but that's where we're at. I might chop it up. I might just post it all as one big video. But again, thank you for everything, man. Take care.